Ignite the spark within oneself to light the path of holistic health.
Hello and welcome to the Holy Health Podcast. I'm your host, Mitch. Thanks for joining us today. As always, I am joined here with the one and only, the beautiful, the doer of all things, the task stacking queen, the co-host, my wife, Amanda. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. It's an honor to be here.
It is truly.
As always.
You're welcome.
For what?
Being here.
Oh, yeah. Inviting me here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it.
How's your life going? What's up?
It's okay. I'm tired.
Tired.
Yes. The struggle with sleep continues.
Yeah, well, we slept good last night. We actually had a all night long until about 3:50 when shenanigans started to begin, which is pretty good.
It's good, but it's not good enough.
It's an improvement
And
because usually I'm up every 2 hours.
I didn't sleep until I was up throughout the night.
I don't think I was. I actually slept
I need
good until
space to sprawl out.
To move, yeah.
And I get like maybe 1.5 to 2 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's like a tiny sliver. I have to lay on my side and can't move because we don't have any other room.
Yeah, that is uncomfortable when that happens.
And so I just keep waking up. So.
Yeah, well, we got a new situation going on over there, so.
We do, but.
We're going to get that ironed out and we're going to get some good sleep.
Let's hope. But otherwise, I am doing the thing. I am nutritional therapy practitionering away.
Good.
Yeah.
Putting it out there.
I don't think I talked about the fact that I'm switching homeopathy schools.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So, I'm switching homeopathy schools, which means I add an extra year onto my education. And so I was like, well, I better, ramp it up with the nutritional therapy. So that's what I've been doing.
Might as well.
Well, I need to.
Yeah.
Not might as well, Like, I have to or I'll be working at the dollar store.
Well, I don't know about that. Wouldn't be worth the time.
Yeah, nothing around here would be, I don't think. So, gotta do that. So I've been doing that. How are you? Please tell us. We all want to know.
Well, I am pretty good, actually.
That's great.
What was I going to say? I had a thing that I was going to say. Well, I finished my detox, my homeopathic detox.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm on my last week, but, took my last dose. I started to go to the gym. Like a real gym, a place that I pay for, that I go there and I work out. So, first time that I'm doing that since, if you count college, because I paid tuition, but there's a facility there. So, I don't know if I really count that, but my college years, we'll say, because I did pay for a membership on like summers and winters and stuff, so.
What does that have to do with your homeopathic detox?
It doesn't.
Oh. Okay.
It's just sharing.
Okay.
Things that were going on.
Okay, carry on.
Things
so you're at a gym?
Yeah. First time since college, was like 8 years. So, interesting.
Yeah.
Feels good. I'm liking it. It's a good routine. I forced myself to go this morning, because I was thinking I don't really need to. I'm sore. So I worked out way too hard on Saturday. And I was super sore. So I was like, nope, I gotta go. I'll do something. I'll figure it out. So getting into that routine and making it a habit, I'm excited.
Good.
Yeah, I can feel some things are brewing. I like it. I like
Like your quad muscles?
Yes. Yep. I did work them today. I got a little bit of blood flow down there. I did some incline treadmill backwards. So that was fun.
Cool.
Yeah. That's it for me. I was thinking about you and
How sweet.
as I always do. And in regards to like some of your, we'll say, issues.
What issues? Huh?
And how you've kind of experienced a lot of different things. Like education wise, you've tried a lot of different things. And, you know, kind of all in the same, like working on the same problem because you have like a chronic issue that you've tried to figure out and solve and work on, and made a lot of improvements. And I guess I was curious, like, what do you think made the biggest progress for you in your, like, specifically stress, anxiety, nervous system type of stuff?
I know what would make the biggest progress.
What's that?
Living somewhere else.
Definitely.
Living, especially bonus points for near the beach, but in a warmer, doesn't have to be like Florida warm. There can be seasons, but like not so long of a winter. Warmer environment and sunnier environment. Because I mean I've known that it's very cloudy here for a lot of the year. But I didn't know the extent of that until I started to observe weather in other locations that we are interested in moving to. And then I was like, whoa, this is like extreme. Because I've been tracking this. I've been tracking other locations of weather for a long period of time now. So realizing that, I'm like, wow, that would make a huge difference. Because I know it would. Because every single summer, it's like, okay, so spring comes, and depending on how the spring goes, how warm it is, how sunny it is, which this one has been like, it was fine for a bit, now it's cold and whatever again. So depending on how much of a jump start I can get in the spring, depends on how much progress I can make throughout the summer. But I basically have to like rebuild my foundation every single summer. And then
you
fall
don't make
comes.
much progress.
Yeah, I feel relatively decent. Like I don't struggle nearly as much with anything in the summer. And fall comes and I'm like finally at a good baseline again, but then, here comes the clouds and the snow and the cold, and then everything falls apart again. So I know that's what would change things. Like 100% for sure. I know this. But something that has helped other than that, I would definitely say like enjoying life.
Okay.
Like being in a good space in life, feeling good about life, feeling excited about life, like having community and fulfillment with work and like good relationships, like all of that is the thing.
How have you been doing that?
No, I haven't, but that's in the past that has been what was most helpful.
Oh.
Living here. It hasn't been for a long time, but that was what was most helpful.
So what is most helpful?
Right now?
Or what have you done? What? Okay.
I just answered that.
Yeah. I was thinking more along the lines of like, like certain health practices, like specifically like nervous system work.
Grounding, which is a form of nervous system work. So you want to know what nervous system practices have been most helpful?
Yeah.
Nervous system practices have been most helpful. I mean, I think breath work would have to be it. Because you can...
What does that look like for you?
Well, it depends on how I'm feeling. There's so many, that's what I was going to say, that you can tailor it to what you're going through. So, like, if you need a little bit more energy because you're feeling depressed, you can do a certain type of breath work. If you're anxious and you need to, like, chill, you can do a certain type of breath work. Like, there's very different types of breath work that you can do. And you can do it pretty much anywhere. Like, there are subtle enough breath work techniques that you can implement wherever you're at, in public or not. And I think it's free. Everybody can do it. It's very accessible, and it's like very underrated. And I always forget about it because I'm
I was
like,
gonna say, when do you do this?
I'm always just breathing, like I'm already breathing. What's holding my breath for 4 counts or like box breathing or something going to do? But I would say it's very helpful. Sometimes in my morning routine, I'll throw it in. Or like if I'm in like a Kundalini yoga phase, it'll be more prominent. But I would say that would be my thing. What were you expecting me to say?
I was expecting like EMDR or like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess breath work would be part of the one that I was thinking.
Well, EMDR, I can't really I don't know. I guess you could like tap and think about things like on your own, but I don't know, that's more like a practice, or not a practice, a technique of working through things in my head than it is like a regulation technique, but it could be a regulation technique too, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the breath work thing though, because like there's a lot of science behind it.
Yeah, my favorite, I would say if I had to, well, I guess there's 2. Either box breathing, so like in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4, or however many you can do, but I think 4 is a good place most people can kind of start. Or alternate nostril breathing. So you plug off one nostril, you breathe in the one, and then you switch nostrils and you breathe out the other, and then you breathe in and switch and out and switch. I like that one too.
I like the relaxation one that, like, if you're really stressed out, you inhale as deep as you can through your nose, and then you pause for a split second, and then you inhale even more deeper, and then you exhale, and that's supposed to like relax you and de-stress you, and that works really well.
Yeah, when I was doing legs up the wall briefly there a couple weeks ago, I was doing breath work then because I was trying to implement a nervous system practice before bed because I was like, maybe that will help me sleep better. Even though the factors are very external for the most part. But I think legs up the wall is a great one too. Combined with some breath work. It's a banger.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say breath work, and like even talking about it, I'm like, I need to do it more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In my therapy experience, the lady that I was working with EMDR, she would like call out like times where I was just like self-regulating without knowing, and like say we were talking about something, and I would just like, I would like just like take a deep breath to kind of like.
You're very good at self-regulating. I've observed that.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, he's like off charging himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're just like discharging whatever you're feeling.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's very interesting because I don't do that. I just freeze and internalize everything.
A lot of it's just naturally. I don't know if it's because I played sports and like it just like became a part of my pattern that I do. Because like I don't recognize it at all.
Yeah. Which is good. I mean, that's, goals.
Yeah. And I've talked about it before, but like this was more of a trauma response that I've learned and that I like associated with. But like say we would get into an argument or whatever, I would like focus on reading signs, like road signs, like for a car, and like I would just, I couldn't respond to anything. I couldn't think, and I just like look and read road signs, and that was like a way that my nervous system was regulating itself, and I had like no clue that that's what it was until I learned about it. And like it was just like happening and I was just like doing it. It's just something that I always did. Like if I was like trauma response, boom, no, this is what my system does, was like read words that I've read a million times, or like look at the Holy Health logo and like read Holy Health, Holy Health, Holy Health. Like I would just like do that and like had no clue why I was doing it or what, but yeah, I learned that it was trauma response and I was doing that to like self-regulate and stuff, but I thought that was like a cool thing that was happening.
Definitely.
But I haven't noticed that in a while. I haven't done that.
Because we've been getting along so well.
I think we have.
I know.
Yeah. Things are much better now.
For sure. I know. That's what I was saying.
I don't hate my life as much.
I do, but it's okay.
I guess one of us has to.
Yeah.
We can't both be happy.
Yeah, I'm content now.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable.
So with the nervous system conversation, that's kind of where we want to keep going. Today is the meat of the show, I guess, was going to be about central nervous system, nervous system in general, and like regulating and different things like that.
Lots of people have very nervous systems, me included.
Definitely.
And I mean, you can see it everywhere now. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think more people are more nervous than ever before.
Yeah, like I'm very high strung, very stressed, very much on the bottom of the polyvagal ladder a lot of times. But compared to other people that I observe, I feel like I'm cool as a cucumber. And I'm like, wow, this is interesting. But I feel like the way that social media and technology has kind of morphed society has made dysregulation like become on steroids, essentially.
Yeah, I think it has digressed people back to childhood and like how they process things as children, because we've witnessed some things in our life where these adults, these full-grown adults, like older than us,
old people.
I mean, they're not like 70s, but they're old, and they're like acting like toddlers, throwing a little temper tantrum, and it's like, what's going on here? You know?
Yeah,
like would this happen if text messaging and social media and all this stuff wasn't around? Would this person do this like in their home by themselves? Or is this just like an easier accessible thing now that I can throw a little hissy fit and I can text you, or I can send you a message real quick, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell because we were kind of kids before technology exploded. And so I feel like we wouldn't necessarily have been able to observe like adults during that time and recognize dysregulation. But I can't imagine that it used to be quite like this, because social media has removed like a barrier, and now we are privy to everybody's everything at every point in time.
Yeah.
And so, like, if I was all fired up at you at like 25 years ago, I would either have to go out to your house, write you a letter, or call you on the phone to like address that. Now I can do it on Facebook or text message or email or Instagram or wherever, and I don't have to see you or absorb your reaction or anything. I can just like block you and say what I need to say and be done with it. And like, I think there's something about that disconnect with other people that dysregulates us as a society and as humans even more.
It's a big disconnection from a person. Just weird. It's
because you kind of like, you can essentially co-regulate with other people. So like if like when we have a fight, if you're the one that's fired up and I elevate to your level, we are both very dysregulated now and we're going to have a fight and be screaming at each other. Whereas if you're screaming and I stay regulated and in a calm state, you're more likely to say what you need to say, get it out, whatever, and then come closer down to where I'm at and meet me instead of me meeting you. But since we remove the human to human interaction, there's no co-regulation energy intertwining. It's all just words on a screen.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that face-to-face interaction is really important. Honesty is the best. I learned that in my last job. I liked that aspect of it where you could pretty much say whatever you wanted to somebody and they weren't allowed to get mad. It was like the slogan was leave your feelings at the gate. See, like when you get on site, you drive through a gate, you know. It's like leave your feelings at the gate. So as soon as you get there, pretty much anybody can say anything and nobody gets upset. And that was like the best. You can make fun of somebody for something like I had bad BO and like I didn't wear deodorant for a while. I just got out of the habit of it because I like was against deodorant because of all of the reasons. And then they started coming out with like natural deodorants and stuff became more popular. And I just got out of the habit of doing it. And I was like, I'm not buying that. I don't need deodorant. So.
You definitely need deodorant.
Yeah. Yeah, I stink. Sometimes. But yeah, I'm like working. And previous job I was outside, so I didn't really interact with anybody. It's like, why do I need to smell good? I'm like outside,
This
nobody
is
was around.
hilarious because you always throw a little hissy fit about the fact that I like everything to be fragrance free. And so now you want deodorant to smell good, but only when you're around people. But if you're not around people, it doesn't bother you, which is so weird.
Well, yeah, I don't want to smell bad.
The dishes in the cabinets downstairs aren't around anybody but us, and you want them to smell like chocolate sunshine.
No, I don't want the dishes to smell like anything. I just want soap that works well.
It does work well.
It does work well. The soap that we get works well. But Dawn, I have a special attachment to Dawn. Dawn dish soap.
They have a fragrance-free Dawn. I just haven't tracked it down.
It's just not the same as the blue kind. Just I have an attachment to the blue kind.
Well, that's too bad.
I know.
Anyways,
and it's fine.
Go ahead. Deodorant.
With my story, being rudely interrupted.
Mm-hmm.
This is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I didn't wear deodorant, and then it was like the first day that like it was hot out, and we're in the locker room, we're changing, and they're like, "Dude, you stink." I was like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "You smell horrible. Put on some deodorant." I was like, "I don't believe in deodorant." And like from then on, it was like a joke then that it was established that they could make fun of me for that no matter what. And like say I forgot deodorant that day, they're like, "Dude, did you forget deodorant?" I was like, "Yeah." Like, "Yeah, you fucking stink." The honesty was out there. And it was like the best policy because you could, like I said, the point of the story is that there's no talking behind somebody's back.
Which I love because, I mean, so many times, it's like you go home and you have like a big chunk of something in your tooth. And you're like, what the fuck? Why did nobody tell me I have something in my tooth for the past 8 hours that I've been interacting with humans?
Yeah.
I hate people like that. I'm like, just tell like, I would tell a stranger, like, hey, you have something in your tooth. Hey, you have something on your shirt. Hey, you stepped in toilet paper. Like, I will tell people that. 100%. I don't understand why people don't share that with people. Mm-hmm. Crazy. But people at your current work don't, so.
Right. Yeah, like when honesty is not the policy, that leaves the door open to shit talking behind somebody's back about dumb stuff that's like it's not necessarily, you know, bad, but it's not honest either.
Well, it's kind of mean.
Well,
because it's like you could just say this to the person's face and maybe solve the problem, and maybe they're not even aware of it. Maybe they don't even know they have a big
there's
piece
so
of
many
kale in their tooth.
what ifs. There's so many what ifs.
I know.
And back to what you were saying about that face-to-face interaction and why it's so good compared to like the keyboards and the screens. It's that honesty piece, in my opinion, where you don't have to be honest through a screen or whatever, because none of it's real. Everything about it is fake. I can sound really, really smart if I sit down and write a 10-minute paragraph about something, and I can use all the right words. I can form a really good sentence and make it all make sense, right? But if somebody would ask me a question about that topic and I'm just doing it off the cuff, I'm going to sound completely different than what it would be if I sat down for 10 minutes and figured out a response through typing, right? I can curate any type of response and make myself look a certain way through a messaging system, right? Which takes honesty out of the picture.
Yes, but also it can also dysregulate somebody. If somebody sees, let's say, a political post that they don't like, they can also react immediately and say dumb stuff that gets them into a Facebook fight or something because they don't have the ability to like regulate themselves and step back. So it can go both ways. But yeah, I think it's interesting how people will be so honest online, quote unquote, when they're just being mean, like they're just being nasty. But to your face, they would never say something like that.
Right.
But they also won't tell you the truth, even if it's not like a mean thing.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what that regulation is of like if we've just become susceptible to like those avenues to be like we can go down those avenues of being dishonest through the screens and stuff, which dysregulates us and dehumanizes people and takes away that connection to a person, because that's why that matters, because you're disconnecting yourself from that person whenever you're shit talking, right? Either like in a work environment, like if you're not being honest with the person, you're probably going to say what you're thinking to somebody else behind their back, and then you're going to talk about them behind their back. But it'd be much better if you would just be honest, and then everybody can like work through that process together. Like specifically at work, so I have a situation where somebody smells bad.
But it's not you, but
it's not me. Nobody has said anything to this person about them smelling bad for over a year. And they all just know that they smell bad, but they won't say anything. Bad. Yeah. They won't say anything to this person to their face and say, "Hey, do you know that you smell really bad?" Or like, "Did you wear deodorant today?" Like anything. It's just like a non-subject. And I'm like, guys, like honesty is the best key here. Like, why hasn't anybody said anything?
Yeah, because you can be nice about it.
Yeah, like you can have a conversation, or you could just be like, "Dude, you stink."
A lot of people connect confrontation with being mean or rude.
With honesty. I mean, the honesty seems like it's confronting.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it is. Like, truths are usually harder than lies. You know, like if I tell you the cold hard truth, that hits a lot different than if I had lied to you.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like that's what I would want personally. Is the truth.
Yeah. The truth's the best.
Because if not, then I'm just going to be walking around dysregulated because I'm worried that, like, I know, like, you know,
Oh yeah.
if you're like, was that messed up of me? And I'm like, no, it was fine. You're fine. Like, you already know.
Yeah.
So you know that I'm lying to you deep down, and you also know that you're lying to yourself because you're trying to admit that that's not, or you're trying to convince yourself that the thing is not a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's interesting how we've gotten here in society, which, you know, subjectively, we don't really know if what we're experiencing is new or not, but I have a feeling that it is. It's at least vastly different. The terrain has at least changed in some way. Like, obviously, the internet has impacted the world in a very dramatic way. So we can't say that it hasn't, but we don't necessarily have, or at least I don't have, personal evidence of it being different that I can remember.
Definitely.
You know, because
Mhm.
like I would have only been 12 and under whenever could be witnessing adults having conversations and the way that they acted and stuff. But so you don't really know. But
Yeah.
we're speculating.
Definitely.
But I think we're on track.
For sure.
So yeah, regulating. What else? What else do you want to go down? Because we have a lot written down here that we want to talk about, and we haven't talked about any of it.
And we're probably like a half hour in at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we want to go? Because I know for me, I like to go towards education and stuff, and you want to go more towards like empowerment. So
give us some education, and then we'll end with some empowerment.
Okay, I think that would probably be a good idea. All right, so what I wanted to do was kind of talk about some really complex ideas, but make it not complex. So really dumb things down to the degree where anybody can understand it. We have the central nervous system, which I'm sure that if you're listening to this, you know what the central nervous system is, but it's the computing system of the body. So, brain, all your nerves are connected, and it's a top-down process. So, you have the central, and then you have your peripheral. Peripheral is anything outside of spine and brain. So, that's going to be like your sensory, your motor. If you feel a fly landing on your arm, you know that there's sensations on your hair follicles that touch your skin, and then that goes signals to your brain and comes back. And so there's like a feedback loop there to tell you that something touched your arm. So the nervous system is always working all the time. It's very busy. And it is, fundamentally, you know, I guess the most important. It is like the foundation of human existence. So,
yeah, I mean, if you have nerve problems, it's not a good thing.
yeah, you can't really do much without your brain or your spine. So, pretty important stuff. But the regulation part of it, I'll leave to you, I think, for the most part. I kind of want to talk about how we're more dysregulated and how the issues are presented. But let's go to the brain. So, some of the areas of the brain that I specifically want to talk about are the HPA axis, which is the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis, which sounds like a long, complicated name, but it's your hypothalamus, which is the control center of your brain, just like at the very center. It's where all things get passed through. So any type of communication with any organ or system or hormone or information gets passed through this area of the brain. So high traffic area. Your pituitary gland, very busy gland. That's a lot of hormones are produced. Pituitary gland, it's said to be the master gland. Uh, so a lot going on there. And the adrenals are actually attached to your kidneys. So that's a kind of a long ways to go. So we have brain and kidneys are communicating together for what? So the adrenals are extremely important for stress responses. So that's going to be cortisol is probably the biggest one, most popular one that's talked about. Um, then obviously you have your uh, like your stimulators, which is like your norepinephrine, your epinephrine, and different hormones like that. But cortisol is probably the most important that I will stick with for the adrenals. So we have communication in the epicenter of the brain, which talks to the pituitary gland, which then talks to the adrenals. And cortisol is then produced and put into the blood based off of some type of stimuli to our system. So whether that be you drinking a cup of coffee at 6 in the morning, spike cortisol, and anything else, like maybe you got a stressful phone call or you almost got into a car crash, you got that heart sank real quick, little cortisol spike here and there.
Hardcore workout.
Working out, that's a stress response, a good one that builds resilience, which we'll talk about as well at the end. And the reason why I want to talk about the HPA axis is because in today's world, it is extremely overworked. It's overburdened, overstressed. Because a lot of people don't know this information that, what's his first name? Marino. Andrew Marino, who is a physicist that is extremely censored in the information that he provides because of his discoveries with Dr. Robert O. Becker and how non-native EMF interacts with our nervous system. So they discovered and pinpointed that non-native EMFs stress the HPA axis. So that is where it is specifically found to be reacting in the brain, is the HPA axis. So when we are doing this right now, like recording, and our phones are on, the Wi-Fi is on, whatever's going on, or this microphone's going on, there's a ping happening in the brain. So there's a constant stimuli to the HPA axis from the non-native EMFs.
Here's a question. I don't know the answer. Does blue light do the same thing with the HPA axis? Because we know it's, the flicker rate.
Flicker rate hits a different part, but I think I'll get into that. Well, I'll just go there now. So like there's another part of the brain that's called the PVN for short, or you could say paraventricular nucleus. And the paraventricular nucleus is like, so it's weird how like the brain, like if you look at the brain, it's really hard to tell like different sections of the brain other than the big ones. Like you have your frontal lobe, your parietals, temporals, occipitals. You have the cerebellum. You can identify the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, brainstem. Like you can identify the basic anatomy of a brain like that. But when it comes to these certain areas and regions of the brain, there's no borders. It's just kind of like they've discovered that this area seems to be like something's happening in this area when they do brain scans. that is connected to all of these things. So these different regions of the brain, like the PVN, it's not like a clear delineated like bordered off section of the brain. Like you can't like see it. It's
You
just kind
can't
of
like open up the head and pull it out.
no. It's just kind of like you could cut it out because you know where it is generally, but there's no like defining markers.
It's not like this is my finger.
No, there's not like, oh, there's a little X here and then there's
Yeah.
a curve here and then that's how we know where that's at. It's just kind of like this spot here.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the general area.
Yeah, it's like acupuncture, like meridians and stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of like we know
We
the
know where
vicinity.
it's at,
It's
but
like
that's
in
it.
this area, and that's where all these things kind of
Yeah.
happen. So the paraventricular nucleus is super, super important because that's where three things converge. And those three systems of the body that converge are the most important three systems, which is the immune system, the nervous system, and the endocrine system.
It's like Pittsburgh with the three rivers, only it's
Yes.
PVN, not PGH.
So we have three river stadium in your brain where they all go to and they converge.
Perfect.
And that's the PVN.
There we go.
And so that's again the immune system, the nervous system, and the endocrine system. So obviously that's super important. So now you asked about blue light. So when we're under blue light, we're looking at blue light for long periods of time, like specifically artificial, non-native blue light. I'm not talking about sunlight. Or even like full spectrum light bulbs or whatever. Like specifically the blue light spectrum definitely causes a stress response because it goes through the eyes into the what's the other one? The suprachiasmatic nucleus, which is another like sub region of the brain, which is the master clock, which controls your circadian rhythm, and that is also connected to this PVN. So now we have like this kind of like a cascading effect, right? So like you can't do one thing without affecting the other. You know, we're all connected. Everything's connected. Blue light is known to spike blood sugar. So if it's spiking blood sugar, it's going to spike cortisol. So we know that there's a stress response with blue light. So we're chronic stressed there. So we're getting it through our eyes and on our skin, and non-natively the invisible spectrums as well. We're absorbing that. So that is a lot of invisible invaders into our nervous system that we're not even really aware of. Most people aren't aware. They never will be. They don't care about it. And that's fine. They're probably better off. But a lot of people are concerned with cell phone radiation. And a lot of people are concerned with the type of lighting that they're under and that they have in their home.
Which is great, and it's great to be educated, but there's a line. And
Definitely
if you are constantly stressing about those things and worrying about the impacts that they might have on you, then you are doing more harm than good, and you are very much in the dysregulated land.
You're going to create a higher stress response.
For sure. Yeah.
More than what's already there. Because you already have one regardless. So you just have to learn to deal with it and accept it for what it is. Because unless you're going to move to West Virginia, whatever place that doesn't have it, then I doubt you're not going to get radiated by something. So,
and I believe our bodies are strong enough to handle it to an extent. Like, I wouldn't live next to a cell phone tower, but like, I think we're adjusting and adapting very slowly, but we are, to be able to handle more of these stressors. But that doesn't mean not being informed, but it also doesn't mean to be terrified, because at one point I was terrified of all these things all the time. You're just putting yourself in a sympathetic state. And you don't want to do that, because then you're stressed, and everything in your body does not work well when you're in a sympathetic state, because you're trying to run from the tiger, but the tiger is your existence.
Yes. So, again, the blue light conversation creating stress. So now if we add in a timing mechanism or a timing factor variable, if I'm watching blue light at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. versus noon, it's a big difference in the potential risks there. So like the 10 p.m. conversation is now I'm affecting my hormones.
Melatonin's going down the tubes.
Now my Three Rivers Stadium is dammed up.
Yep.
Or
lights are on when they should be out.
Yeah, or something like that, because we're losing melatonin. Melatonin's gone. Melatonin's a hormone. Melatonin comes from the pineal gland, which is in the brain, which is then also regulated by the PVN and the SCN, which is the suprachiasmatic nucleus. So now we have a big problem there too. So like I said, you can't have one thing without the other, doing another thing to that thing with this thing.
Nothing is secular. Yeah, everything works together.
Yeah. So it's very important to be educated on that and be aware of it, but don't let it overcome your life. So knowing the brain stuff, for me, I think it's cool. I like to know, what areas of the brain of mine that's being affected. Like whenever I learned the HPA axis, and that's where the non-native EMF is being it's kind of like attacking the brain in that area, we'll say. That was like big for me because I wanted to know definitively what's happening in my body, like what area of my body is being affected, and it's stress. So when we think about stress, and everybody like in the health space is always like, we're gonna do more stuff, and like we're gonna add cold plunging and sauna and working out, and you got to do these types of workouts, and you want to work out as hard as you can, and you want to be on TRT so you can work out harder. And it's like we're adding a lot of stress to our bodies and to our routines and our lives, and like everyone's stressed out to the max already because of a lot of reasons, but we don't want to continue to keep adding stress. So with this idea, anytime you can not be as stressed as what you are normally is a good idea.
Definitely.
Because we're chronically stressed by the invisible invaders, that adding more is not necessarily good. Even if that thing that you're adding is a good thing, it could potentially not be as good.
For sure. It's like exercise. It's like exercise is very healthy, very great. We all need to be doing it. But if you are in like an extreme period of stress, you shouldn't be training for a marathon. Like you should be taking walks and doing gentle yoga and stuff like that.
Yes, because you should be exercising in a way that creates like
a parasympathetic
relaxation
response.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like something to calm you down, to regulate your system, not to continue down the dysregulation.
For sure. Yeah. And one thing that I know a lot of people don't like to hear is that scrolling is not reducing stress. It's not relaxing. It's not time off. It's
the exact opposite.
Stressful. Even if you think like, I just need to scroll and then I'll feel better. That's a whole other conversation that we're going to have more of next week. But it is not regulating you. It is not helping you. I don't care if it's long form content or not. I mean, a TV show is like totally fine in my opinion when it comes to regulation, like we're speaking of. But if you're scrolling on your phone on social media, forget about it.
Yeah, not a good idea.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm talking about with the brain. So like the scrolling, we're talking about blue light there. You're getting blue light. You're holding a phone. You're probably in a place that has Wi-Fi or internet, and then you're consuming content that means nothing, and you're creating a massive dopamine spike that you would not normally get elsewhere, and it's basically a drug that you are doing with your thumb
Yeah.
and your eyes, and then like again, that's going to continue to stress the HPA axis. You're stressing your brain, you're stressing your eyes, you're just adding more unwanted stress.
For sure. And it's hard to break that.
It
That is
is
super
very.
challenging.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said last week, the brick has been a game changer for me, because even I've been bricked out, and like I will still be like, oh, I want to check this, like after I'm bricked. And I'm like, oh, I need to check this. And I'm like, I don't need to check that. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Or like I like want to open my phone in the morning, like when I'm still bricked. And I'm like, I don't need to. Like, I have to talk to myself and be like, no, you're journaling right now. You don't need to look at anything on your phone. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, it just calls you.
Yeah, it's crazy. So that causes, dysregulation.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about some things that cause and support regulation.
Okay. So
Unless you have more to speak on.
Let me see. I think I got most of what I wanted to say out.
And we can probably dive into it a little more on next week's episode.
Yeah.
Whatever you missed.
Yeah, I mean, the HPA axis, I think that's an important one to know about. Because again, the pituitary is hormones. That's where a lot of hormones are produced, which cascades down to your kidneys. So I always think about the adrenals. This will be my last little thing. Because everyone loves stimulants. Everyone loves coffee, and energy drinks are really popular now. And if we're chronically stressed, and we're creating those stress responses on purpose, which is what the stimulants are doing, we are fatiguing the adrenals to the degree where 800 milligrams of caffeine just barely touches it, So you're building, it seems like you're building a tolerance, but really you're just like drowning the adrenals, and they're like worn out. Their sensitivity is basically zero. Well, not zero, but a million or whatever. It's like insulin resistance, like same concept. Like you're no longer sensitive to sugar. You need a lot of sugar before your insulin starts to spike. Same thing with this. You need a lot of stimulants before your adrenals start actually sensing things. Because you shouldn't need to drink coffee after the morning. Like,
you shouldn't need to drink it in the morning, in my opinion, either.
I mean, I like it. I'm probably not going to stop doing it.
Well,
but,
I'm not saying you don't like it. I'm saying you shouldn't need to drink it.
Oh, yeah, you don't need, I don't need it to, like
if you need it to function, you have a problem.
Yeah. So, like, if you're so tired at 4 o'clock and you need caffeine, you're really screwing yourself up, because the cortisol is a diurnal cycle, so it spikes at 8 and then drops at 4 naturally, and that's how it's supposed to be.
A.M.
Yeah, 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. So that's when your energy levels should be high at 8 a.m., or like you can artificially kind of create that, like a biohacking where you can drink your coffee at 8 a.m. so that you can get that cortisol spike at the right time that you're supposed to get it. And then don't drink coffee after noon, because then you're just screwing yourself over. But you should be tired at 4 o'clock. Like you should have like a lull in your energy levels. Be like, oh man, I'm waiting for my second wind to kick in here, Like,
which is why I love an early dinner.
Yeah, it's a natural process.
Boosts you.
The evenings you're supposed to chill out. Like, you don't need that cup of coffee after work. Like you're doing yourself more harm than good.
Or pre-workout.
You're destroying your adrenal glands. You're fatiguing them like crazy, and the goal is to keep them sensitive. You want to be able to only need 100 milligrams of caffeine. Like if you need caffeine, 100 is a lot, and that's all you need. Or if you like being really sensitive and only needing like 30, which is like a cup of green tea or something. So just trying to keep that in mind of like being sensitive to caffeine instead of like, I just need a lot of it, I love it so much. Like, no, it's not a good idea to do it all the time. Like, you shouldn't be drinking coffee in the afternoon. Like, it's not a good idea. If you need it, there's a problem and you're just kind of pushing it. You're just kicking the can down the road and you need to stop and figure that out. So, yeah, okay. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay. So you want to talk about regulating?
Yeah. What are good ways to get into a regulated state?
I think a consistent schedule and structure is very helpful because you don't leave a lot of room for surprises. And when you're in a really stressed out state, the last thing you want is a lot of surprises. So if you can, go to bed at the same time, wake up around the same time, even on the weekends, have your meal timings around the same times every day, work out, make your workouts at a consistent time or like schedule them in structured days of the week. Like plan out your life so that you know what's next. And you don't have to get obsessive with it, of course, but like if you know what's coming, that creates safety in the body automatically. So if it's like, okay, I know that I wake up at 6 a.m. every day, and then I do this, and then I do that, and then this, that, whatever. So you already know what's coming for the most part. And yeah, surprises can happen or whatever, but having that foundation of safety really can set you up to implement the nervous system regulation practices that you want to start to implement. Because a lot of the time what happens is you're so stressed out, you're so dysregulated that you'll be sitting there and be like, I should not be scrolling, I should be doing breath work, but you just keep doing the thing because you are just in that state of fight or flight or freeze or whatever it may be. So if you have that structure and you're like, okay, at 8 a.m. I'm doing breath work, well then 6 p.m. can come along and a stressful circumstance pops up out of the blue and breath work is already top of mind because you've done it for the past 7 days and you just did it this morning. And so you're like, oh yeah, I can do breath work to calm myself down. So you have that already kind of swirling around in your energy. I think that's the top one. It's just like consistency and kind of knowing what's coming for the most part to build that safety.
Routines are amazing. Like,
because I'm always doing that with you. I'm like, we need a plan. What's the plan?
I mean, I don't like that. I'm more of a free spirit. I like to kind of just do things. But like an overarching lifestyle for me is kind of like how I think about things. Like getting this gym membership is going to be awesome for me. Yeah. I can already tell. Because like I actually am looking forward to going. And I'm like planning and I'm like thinking about it and I'm like feeling really good. Because like for me, working out at home, I just can't do it. I've tried it and I mean I can do it like in a pinch, I'll do it. But like to do it forever is just not me. I can't do it. I can't get behind it. I'm too weak. That's what I thought of this morning. I'm too weak to work out at home. Like mentally, I'm just too weak. I have to go somewhere. I have to be on a mission. If I go to a place and work out, my workout's going to be 10 times better than it would be if I stayed at home and worked out. Just because I won't like do it as good. I just won't. I don't know. I'm just not mentally there. I just can't do it. So that routine and establishing that overarching lifestyle, like I got my workout in, then I'm going to go to work, and then I come home from work, and then we eat, and then we sleep, and then I wake up and I do that again. And then, oh, Friday's here. Okay, we have a Friday night, we have a little evening fun. And then Saturday morning we do our thing. And then like it's like an established overarching lifestyle of like this is how things work. And I like plan things out, in different ways, but I don't have like structure like you do. Yours is like a prison. The way that you structure your life to me looks like a prison.
Because you're regulated and I'm not.
Yeah, I'm just like when you make your lists, like what's the one app that you were looking at that's about like food or like picking stuff at the store, and like you put it
It's
in,
just a meal planner.
and it's like everything though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, that looks like prison, because it was just like so much. Like you add this in, and this adds that, and then it tells you this, and then you add it to here, and then it gives you an idea here, and then this. And it's just like, I don't know how that is helpful, but to you, it is.
Yeah.
And you like that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. I think, like you said, I think routines are even. Yeah, I was gonna say even a bad routine is a good routine, but
no, it has to be a good routine. We're not playing that soft shit here.
Yeah.
It has to be a good routine.
Yeah.
A bad
Healthy.
routine is waking up and reaching for your phone first thing and scrolling.
Right. Yeah.
And stopping by Starbucks to get a latte for breakfast with 45 grams of sugar. Like,
yeah.
That's a bad. And telling yourself that you're going to do yoga, but then you just go do yin and you just like flop into the poses for 5 minutes each. Like, not that there's a time and place for yin too, but like a bad routine is not what we're talking about. We're talking about a healthy, good routine.
None of that soft shit.
No, that's going to set you up for success. But implementing, where you're at and having the awareness of like, yeah, I probably shouldn't be going for runs right now because I am so stressed out. I need to incorporate more gentle structure. It's like a lot of it is so simple. It's like seeing the sun every morning can change your life.
That's what we talk about all the time.
Putting your feet on the ground, on the earth, can change your life. Like
the holy health lifestyle will change your life for the better, and it will regulate you more than what you are now.
Putting your phone down, not scrolling, bricking yourself, or whatever you need to do. Like eating presently, not eating while you're driving. I'm very bad at this, but eating sitting down with your food, not scrolling, not consuming something else, not driving down the road, not working, like just eating and being present with your food. Because when you are stressed, you are not able to properly digest your food. You have to be in a parasympathetic state to digest your food. I know this. I don't do it as much as I should. It's one of my greatest struggles, but it's very important, keeping your space clean, like picking up after yourself, because what you're seeing around you is a very great example of what's going on within you.
Definitely.
And so if you have dishes in the sink for the past 3 days and there's stuff scattered all over the counters and you have clothes overflowing out of the laundry basket, you're going to feel stressed.
For sure.
If you take 5 minutes to put your, not even 5 minutes, if you take 30 seconds to put your coat and shoes away when you get into the door instead of just throwing them down on the bench beside the door, it all adds up and it all matters and it all makes you feel better.
These are not things that I do.
No, he drives me nuts. I'm always picking up after you.
What?
Always.
No.
Yes.
No.
Always.
What?
What are you talking about?
What are you picking up?
When I did laundry, you had like 2 sweatshirts and something else on the bench out front. And you were like, and now it's gone.
Well, I was going to use it.
Well, I don't care. If it doesn't need to live there, put it in the closet. So cleaning up after yourself is huge. Keeping your space clean.
You said rest and digest. I think that's an important space to try to get to, because if you can regulate to that degree, right, get into a parasympathetic state, which is coined as the rest and digest state, because that's what you do when your nervous system is in a parasympathetic state. You can rest well, which means a lot of things, and you can digest food well. Because when your stomach gets full of food, it creates a digestive response. So then your liver is responding, your gallbladder is responding, your pancreas is responding, your stomach acid is responding, your intestines are then responding. So you have a lot of blood flow and communication going to the digestive system and all the organs that are involved in that process. So if you're stressed to the max and you're eating, or you're busy doing stuff and eating at the same time, and not to say that you can't do it sometimes or whatever, but like if you have a problem, then doing this often, you're taking away that time and space and that energy from the digestive process, and you're shifting it over to other things. So then the blood flow and the production of certain things isn't happening, and you're not properly digesting your food. You're not properly absorbing the nutrients and the bioavailability that was there, and now it's just getting pooped out, so to speak. Um, but yeah, getting into that regulated position so then you can do those things is very, very important. Because obviously, digesting your food is one of the essential things to live and to be happy, to be nourished, to feel good, to be healthy.
Yeah, and being in the parasympathetic state is where healing happens too.
Exactly. And that's part of the rest part. Um, Rest and healing, recovery, all of those things, super essential. So if your nervous system is completely out of whack and that PVN is kind of scrambled, then your immune system, your nervous system, your endocrine system, they aren't working together. If things are incoherent up there in the PVN, uh, then you're gonna have a really hard time with basic stuff, which is where's your where's your hormones coming from that you need to heal your muscles? Where are the nervous system's responses coming from so that you can properly, uh, I don't know, send information somewhere to another place? Where are the immune cells going, your white blood cells, and all of the things to fight infection and to keep you healthy and keep you from getting sick, to help heal? Maybe you got some type of wound on your skin or whatever. Uh, all of that is super important to be able to heal. There's so many things going on in the body all the time. One of the best times of healing is when we sleep. And if that's also dysregulated, then again, we're kicking that can further down the road and we're accumulating dead cells. We're accumulating, the potentials of, you know, uh, degeneration of the human body itself, uh, which is not a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, it all sounds very easy, but it's not. Especially if you're in a super dysregulated state. This stuff is not easy, but I think if you just start small and start slow, and I think start with your phone, in my opinion. Start having
Phone's an easy one to start with.
Yeah, it's hard, but it's easy.
Everybody knows. I mean,
yeah. Start having more structure and regulation around your phone. I think a lot of other areas will kind of fall into place as well. But if you just start in 2 spots, I would say get off your phone early in the evening and stay off your phone for as long as possible after you wake up in the morning.
That one is huge.
It's so big.
That one's key for me because
it can make or break your day.
I've noticed like my screen time is down to like an hour or something average, because I don't use it at all at work.
Yeah.
And like I don't use it in the morning either. So like, I don't use my phone all day long until I get home.
Mm-hmm.
And when I get home, I like to spend time with you, and I'm interacting with you.
Mm-hmm.
So then, like, when am I using my phone?
Only when you're pooping.
Yeah, if I'm pooping, but like, there's not a lot of opportunities for me to get on social media.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that one's huge that I've noticed.
For
If I
sure.
don't use it all day, I'm not interested in it at all, really. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I have this computer in my pocket. I forgot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the longer you stay off of it in the morning, the easier it is.
Yeah, and then you create so much distance from that thing. When you do enter back into that world and you scroll for a half hour and then you're done, you feel like complete shit.
Yeah, you're like, ew.
You're like, what did I just do?
Yeah. So I think those those capping your day, both ends, evening and morning, with staying off your phone for as long as possible, even if it's just a half hour to start with, is key.
Yeah, the mindless stuff. The mindless scrolling, the mindless games, the mindless Snapchat streaks that you have to keep because the app's telling you that you have to keep it. You know, there's no real reason why you have to keep a snap streak with people that you barely know.
We have like 1,000 days on our Snapchat streak. What
We
are you
do.
talking about?
You're my wife. Of course, I'm going to
I don't Snapchat well, maybe my sister occasionally, but I don't Snapchat anybody else. I have like 4 friends and I keep it that way because I don't want to be on there.
Yeah, there's just like Snapchat is like everybody uses it now. It's almost like the sole communication app
Really?
between people. Yeah.
I'm out of the
The
loop.
younger people,
Oh, yeah.
the younger generation,
Well,
you can create groups really easy. You send pictures, you can send videos, you can text. It's all super easy that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm out of the loop, thankfully. Yeah.
A lot of people are doing it.
Yeah. That doesn't mean that we have to.
Everybody's
because
doing it.
we want to be regulated. So.
Yeah, so that's a big one. Monitor your phone usage.
That's it. That's where you start.
We all know this.
But we all need reminders. Like, I would listen to an episode like this and I'd be like, yep, time to ramp up my strictness again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good place to start. There's a lot that you can do. You know, you can implement a lot of like the very trendy practices, but I like to keep it super basic and be like, what is in your life that's dysregulating you right now? Instead of adding something new in, what can you kind of take away? And then once you take it away, you'll want to replace it with something new, and you'll find it, you know?
Get sunlight.
Yeah.
If you're making a priority to get sunlight, that means you're making a priority to go outside or to open a window or whatever to get sunlight in a day. That's going to help you regulate, because then you're thinking about other things that are way more important, which is like syncing your circadian rhythm and getting that under control. And then you can be like, oh, maybe I should go outside and go for a walk, get some fresh air, maybe get grounded.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be sunlight. I think just connecting to nature as much as you can.
Yeah, because when you're doing that, nature regulates you.
Yeah.
Like, it grounds you literally and scientifically. You get frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
There's a connection to the earth that humans have that is innate, and we need it. We need it for our life.
Off the phone, in nature more.
Yeah. Unplug and then
plug in.
Plug in.
There we go.
To nature.
Cool. Is that it?
I think so. I think, yeah, the whole healing conversation, I think that one, there's a lot going on there, mainly because of how complicated that process is with the body. Like,
I mean, you can't really give blanket healing advice, especially when you're talking about nervous system stuff and things that are tied to that, because it's also individualized.
Well, no, I mean like basic, like repair, like your body repairs every day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, without your nervous system being in a good space so that you can sleep well, you can't, because then you're just chronically like not restored.
Yeah, I mean, you can throw all of the biohacks, all of the supplements at it, but it's not going to touch as deeply as it could if you were also working on nervous system regulation.
My analogy that I have, well, a lot of people use cars as an analogies when it comes to health. They use like nutrition as like, you know, the fuel in the car. Like, you want to put good gas in your car, right? You know, if you're driving a Lamborghini, you want to put good gas in that thing. It's going to run a lot better, blah, blah, blah. But what about the engine, you know? The engine of the car is what makes it go, not the gas. Uh, well, gas helps, but, you know, you need gas. But uh, if you're optimizing sleep, sleep is like if you took your car, like you bought a brand new car out of the factory, it's in mint condition. And if you optimize your sleep, your car stays that way forever. Because in this analogy, I go out to my garage, I pull my car out, I drive it down the road. You know, I might have wore the tread out on the tires a little bit. I use the brakes. I hit the brakes pretty hard here and there. I got bugs on my windshield now. There's dirt underneath my car. There's dirt between the tires. You know, there's dirt in the air filter. You know, I burned up the oil a little bit. I burned some gas. So then that means, you know, there's some carbon in my exhaust pipe and my, you know, all these things, right? But if we're optimizing our sleep, we take our car to the body shop, which then it details your car. It gives you brand new tires, brand new brakes, brand new rotors, fills your gas tank up, changes your oil. Like, that's what sleep does to the body. It gives you all of those things brand new.
But if you are super dysregulated, you're going to struggle with sleep.
For sure.
So you can try to sleep as good as you can, but you aren't going to be potentially sleeping very well.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're not regulated and you're just kicking that can further down the road of degeneration, that car analogy that I'm talking about, yeah, maybe, you know, your tires wore out a little bit and, you know, you only got like one new tire and the other three tires are, the tread's still good. It's going to pass inspection, but now you have one new tire and three used ones. So now you got a little bit of a wobble in your wheel when you drive. You're a little bit shaky. And then, you know, like some of my brake pads are new. And one of my rotors is kind of like wearing out, but the other ones are okay. Getting some rust now. I got to get my rust under control.
I'm confused at what the point of this is.
Like, if we're talking about regulating, we're getting kicked down the road of degeneration. If we're not sleeping optimally, that's what happens.
I know, but you can't. If you are dysregulated with your nervous system, you can't always be sleeping optimally. I didn't sleep optimally for 4 years because I was dysregulated with my nervous system.
Yeah.
So I think giving the advice of sleep is important isn't helpful because a lot of the times you're so dysregulated that you can't sleep.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. What?
I don't know. I was talking about optimized sleep.
Yeah, I mean, I think optimized sleep is important.
Yeah, and if we're doing all the things that we talk about, then the sleep will come along. Like, you'll get better sleep.
Yeah, if you're doing all the other things, yeah.
If you're staring at your phone at night, you're not going to get good sleep.
No, I'm just saying,
I don't care if you have nervous system problems or not.
To improve your nervous system regulation by saying to sleep better isn't always realistic.
No, because if you just take that at face value and be like, oh, well, I just need to go to bed early or whatever, like, sleep is extremely complicated, like I said. Like, the healing, cleaning, repairing, rebuilding process of the body that our body does naturally when it goes to the body shop and gets a brand new car every day. That's how complicated sleep is. That's the complexities and the importance of sleep. Autophagy. That's like the best thing ever. You know? So, like, if we're doing all of the other things, our body can naturally heal and do things that it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
So, I understand that, like, oh, I'm dysregulated, my nervous system, I'm stressed out, I can't sleep. Like, a lot of people do have problems with sleeping, but usually we can kind of pick some things out that we talked about today that they are doing that is affecting their sleep.
For sure. I agree. Yeah.
So,
definitely.
there's always something.
For sure.
But,
cool.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think so. I think that was good. We talked about a lot of things. I think we did mention dopamine a little bit because that's an important part of today, with the scrolling aspect, controlling your phone and stuff. There's that dopamine, the, the hormone or whatever, the neurotransmitter that controls our every move. We're going to talk about that one a little bit more next week.
That's right. But until then, leave us a rating and review. I guess follow us in the links down below. If you want to work with me, the link is down below for that as well. Leave us a rating and review. Share the show with somebody that you know. And with that, we will talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.